There yet. We're here, Mr. Flying Pig. Listen, I have to tell you something. Welcome to my office.
Not a bad office, this, Scotty, is it?
This is the La Hoya office on El Portet. Now, just before we start, Flying Pig, I just want to give our many fans a little bird's eye view of where we are. Okay, this is where we are, the beautiful Bay of La Hoya in Altea. Okay, gorgeous place. Fandabidosi, magnificent spot. And the old Flying Pigs came down today, and we've got a little video to do, and we've had a little bit of lunch, haven't we?
We've just had a little bit of a snack with a nice little glass of wine.
Shh! We're supposed to be dry. The boys at Cool FM in Belfast and the one that's in America at the moment, they don't like you drinking and that when you're on air.
But we're not in the office, are we?
That's true. Well, we're in the office of La Hoya.
Yeah. La Hoya?
La Hoya.
Yeah.
Which means the cooking pot.
Yes, the cooking pot.
And actually there's a big cloud just coming over there, Flying Pig. What's happening?
I can't believe that. It's looking like it's going to rain.
It's looking like we're in England. I don't know what the crack is there, but never mind. Listen, we've got some championship to talk about. The championship, as we know, finished after we went off air on Saturday evening. Very interesting, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. As you say, unfortunately this year that well, every year the games on Sundays, aren't they, the vital last games actually in the championship and the
Premier League
this
yeah
week. So obviously we missed them because we only go out on a Saturday, but yeah, it was a great finish to the season. We knew before Saturday that Wolves were the champions, and it was down to the see who would get promoted with them, which was between Cardiff and Fulham. And as the results panned out, Cardiff hung on for a draw at home 0-0 and ended up going up with Wolves.
Yeah, they were the automatic promotion places.
Yeah.
He's getting a bit cold now, isn't it, Flying Pig?
I told you should have put my coats on.
There's one of them big black horrible cloud things coming over. I think that must have come all the way from England.
Yeah, well.
You reckon?
Yeah, possibly, but they've been having good weather, haven't they? It's been like 27, 28 there, back there. Can you believe that?
They've had a good bank holiday. Now, the only people that didn't have a good bank holiday, do you know who that was?
I would say them that got relegated.
I meant Sunderland, actually, Flying Pig.
Well, they had a good Saturday, didn't they? They beat the champions 3-0. Can you believe that?
They beat a reserve team, Flying Pig.
Probably.
A reserve goalkeeper, a reserve central defender, a reserve centre half, a reserve left winger. I thought, in all honesty, it was a bit naughty of Wolves. I mean, they were celebrating the not only the promotion, they were champions, 9 points clear of Cardiff, as you say. They were champions. There was about 3,000 Wolves supporters travelled all the way to the Stadium of Light.
Yeah.
And listen, I think they were a bit naughty. They put I can understand the manager's kind of philosophy that I'm going to give a few youngsters a little bit of a run out, but you know, champions of the championship, I just thought they could have put on a little bit of a better performance than that, you know.
I would have thought they'd have gone all out for it last game of the season, you know. They shouldn't have had to held back. They should have gone for it and, you know, made it good for the supporters, but as it happened, it really didn't make any difference because Sunderland were down anyway, so
yeah.
It was of no detriment to any other side, was it?
Yeah, absolutely right. And in the end, Sunderland, even with that win, still went down at rock bottom of the championship. 4 points adrift of the next team up, who were Burton, and getting on to the bottom of the league. As I say, it was Sunderland, then Burton and Barnsley who made up the three. Are you going to hang on to that?
No, just rearranging it so
you can see our faces. It's there's a real wind getting up here at the present time. I'm just getting my camera all sorted out so you can see the handsome men here.
Yeah, so what it did come down to, Scotty, on last game of the season, down at the bottom, as we knew that Sunderland had gone, And the 3 teams that were also could have gone was Burton, Barnsley and Bolton, all the Bs actually.
And then buggers from Sunderland.
Yeah. But as it happened, the only team that did win was Bolton, which kept them up.
You know, I'm glad that Bolton went up. I mean, I don't know about you, Flying Pig, but I still look on Bolton as a biggish club, and I like them even more because I think we said on our radio station, Cool FM 974.com, last week that they live in the shadow of massive clubs, and Man City, Man United, Liverpool, Everton, and
Burnley.
Burnley, yeah. Well, hey,
Burnley next door.
They're heading for it to be a massive club, 7th in the Premiership. We'll talk about that in our next little video. But listen, at the end of the day, the Bolton boys, every boy that goes along to the Reebok Stadium, every female as well, every child, listen, my heart goes out to you. It's so easy to just wander along the road and support a great team, but at the end of the day, they stick with Bolton. And me, for one, Flying Pig, I was delighted that Bolton actually stopped up.
Yeah, me too, but mine's more because I'm a Lancashire lad, you know what I mean? So, you know, good Lancashire team. I know it's classed as Greater Manchester and all that now, but it's still all Lancashire, really.
Yeah, because as I've said in the past, I mean, I'm a big believer that, you know, follow your local team. I mean, Burnley, you mentioned Burnley. I mean, if I lived in Burnley, there's no doubt about it, I would be along the Turf Moor every week. If I lived in somewhere like, you
Sunderland?
know, no, that comes next.
All right.
That comes. If I lived somewhere like, let's say Dundee, I would be along to.
Where?
What's the grounds?
Dundee or Dundee United?
Dundee United. Let's have a think. I do know the names. We'll go for Hearts.
Why? Because you know where they play.
Well, I don't actually. I'm not sure if it's Easter Road or the other one. Let's pick it. But listen, let's go towards. If I lived at Nottingham Forest, I would go to the county ground every week. Yeah.
The only trouble is now.
Listen.
All these grounds are getting the names changed. And
Yeah,
are you sure
quite
it's
right.
called Reebok now? Is it not the Macron Stadium now? Or
I
something
thought
like
Bolton
that?
was the Reebok.
Oh, it is a Reebok, but I don't know.
But anyway, and if I was somewhere like, go on, throw a team at this.
What, English?
Yeah, if English if you want. I used to know all the grounds.
Oldham.
Oh, I don't know that one. Where do Oldham play?
Oh no, I've forgotten.
Well, listen, if I was
Oldham play. I don't know. I can't remember. Go.
Throw another one at this. Come on, throw another one.
Bury.
Gig Lane.
You're right.
Gig Lane. That's it.
I'll give you
Listen,
that.
if I was a Bury supporter, I would go to Gig Lane each week. If I was a Burnley supporter, I'd be at Turf Moor each week. If I lived in Sunderland, I'd mow the lawn every week, Blind Pig. I really would. I'd mow the lawn. But no, so listen, I was delighted that Bolton stopped up. Absolutely delighted for all you Bolton supporters. And another year in the Championship, that's great news for you.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. And hopefully next year they'll have a better season.
Yeah.
Because they are a big club, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think so. And I remember, I've been to obviously Manchester a few times, and you drive between Manchester down that A60, whatever it is, and
M61, M62.
yeah, and you pass the Reebok. It is the Reebok Stadium. You pass the Reebok Stadium, and it's quite impressive. And as I say, it's a club living in the shadow of clubs. And as I say, anybody that supports them and continues to go there, they have my utmost respect. But that was the Championship.
Yeah, but don't forget, we've got to go. We haven't finished with Championships yet. Don't forget the playoffs.
Flying Pig, I'm glad you're here.
Yeah, well.
Tell me about the
Somebody's got to
playoffs.
keep you in order, haven't they?
Absolutely right.
You North-Easterners.
Yes, us Geordie boys. So we've got a two-legged. Whoa! There's the Premier one away.
Premier League's gone into sea.
The Premier League's away.
You're getting a bit windy here now.
It's not windy really, we're not cold. We're bringing this to you in pleasant sunshine, but never mind. Yeah, we've got a two-legged affair, Flying Pig, in the Championship. We've got Derby versus Fulham, and then we've got Borough versus Villa.
Yeah, I mean, they're them four sides. it's like we said when we was in the studio last week as well, when Big Dunk was with us, that you're going to be really perturbed, like if like Fulham ended up on 88 points and Derby ended up on 75 points. Now, can you imagine Fulham not getting through and Derby getting through? And they were 13 points ahead of them.
It's a crazy.
It's a bit of a travesty that, but then again, as I've always said, they know what the score is before the season
at the beginning
starts.
Of the season, and
so you've got to take it, haven't you?
And you've got to think to yourself that a sensible manager, a manager who thinks his plans out, he has to plan for this. Now, you've got the likes of, as you say, Derby and Middlesbrough that maybe 10 games ago they realised they weren't going to get an automatic promotion place. So did they put a little plan in place, Flying Pig, to say, right, all we need to do here is get in the top 4, or rather the top 6, the 4 playoff places. We need to conserve our best players. We need to make sure we don't get injured. We need to make sure we don't fly in for any daft tackles. And we need to peak. We need to peak, just like a racehorse, Flying Pig,
I think
when the time is right.
I think possibly you could think like that, because as you say, apart from Fulham, the 2 top clubs were way ahead. Well, that's Fulham, Cardiff and Wolves. But and Derby just got in by skin of their teeth from Preston. They ended up with 75 points. Preston ended up on 73. Preston fell away a little bit. They lost I think they lost 2 or 3 of the last 4 or 5 games.
Yeah, they did.
And which was unfortunate for them. But I don't know. How do you think these games are going to go, Scotty? Derby and Fulham to start with.
Well, it's a difficult one. They're hard to call, really. It's all about the occasion.
Yeah, I think
it's all about the 2 legs. It's all about the managers. It's all about the guys that step up to the plate, the more experienced players. I mean, you're going to be after a prediction from me very shortly about who's going to go up.
Well, I won't ask you for a prediction. What I'll do, Scotty, is who would you like to see go up?
I'd like to see Middlesbrough go up.
Would you? Because it's a North East club.
Because it's a North East club.
Now, can I tell you who I'd like to see go up?
Go on then.
I'd like to see Villa go up because of Stevie Bruce. I think he's done a great job there.
Yeah,
I like Steve Bruce. He's a good, honest lad. And I'd like to see him. But he's a North Easterner, isn't he?
I played against him in a cup final.
Have you? Did he kick you?
Yeah, he kicked the shit out of me.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Yeah. I'd kick shit out of you just playing against me.
I'll tell you the occasion. It was Manor Park versus Benfield. I played for Manor Park. Stevie Bruce played for Benfield. He was about 15 years of age at the time. And even then, he might have been a bit younger, might have been about 14. Even then, he was destined to be a pro. Everybody was talking about him. And I played centre forward at the time in this cup final. And I thought, I'm going to take this boy today. I'm going to show him who the boss is. And do you know what I'm going to tell you? He showed me who the boss was.
I bet he did.
He was brilliant.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant.
Big lad though, isn't he?
At the time, he was a stocky guy. He wasn't a tall guy. He was a stocky guy. And I remember going in for a couple of challenges and he hit us with his shoulder a couple of times and I went, Lord, what the hell's going on here? He was a class above my standard of football, to be perfectly honest. I mean, I played a reasonable level, but not his sort of level. But that's my claim to fame. So you would like Mr. Bruce to get promoted there?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that's the only reason is because I like Brucey, and I'd like to see Villa back up there. And again, another big club. Well, they're all big clubs, to be honest with you.
Yeah, they are.
I mean, all the 4 of them that are in these playoffs, they've all been Premiership sides.
The regular Premiership sides.
Yeah, they have, yeah.
So there you have it from me and the Flying Pig. Wolves went up as champions on 99 points, and we had Cardiff in the automatic relegation promotion places. The Flying Pig hopes that Aston Villa go up. I hope that Middlesbrough make it into the top division. What pans out is a different matter altogether. That's just our wishes, not predictions as such. The sad news was that the relegated teams were Flying Pig.
Yes, well, obviously Sunderland, which we know about, stop laughing. And Burton and Barnsley. And our old Bolton stayed up.
Okay.
Lovely jubbly.
So there you have it. That's from our office at La Hoya in the Bay of Altair. We wish you goodbye It's goodbye from me, Ken Scott.
And it's goodbye from me.
Okay, and we will be bringing you another video very, very soon. And it's the video on what's going to happen in the Premiership.